turning this dusty old room into a fantasy garden using the unlimited power of a paintbrush and Pinterest. I've glued the door shut. Do you like home decor that is beige and minimalist? Well, this is not gonna be this video. I'm Ariel, your friendly French crafter, and I've been slowly turning my whole house into a fantasy. A maximalist fantasy full of colors and weird decor. Resale value? Never heard of it. I recently watched The Secret Garden, which I did not really like the movie, but it was so pretty, so beautiful. And I've been obsessed with this room. This was painted for the movie set, but it's so beautiful. It's so whimsical and magical and fantasy. I want it. And you can find some gorgeous wallpapers online, but definitely not in my price range. But did you know that wallpaper in French is called papier peint, which translates to painted paper? I have paint. So here is the whole room. It's not gigantic, but it's a decent size. It's clean, perfectly livable. It's just ugly. It's so ugly. For example, this bed has an amazing shape. I really love how it looks. I even like this fabric, I just don't really like the color. But the bed, great. This thing is okay-ish, but it's not an actual antique. It's kind of like a, you know those fakes from the 80s? I've already emptied it. I think I'm going to put this one in the tavern. The nightstands can stay here. This is animal skin. I can probably redo these lampshades. The mirror, gorgeous. It stays here. These are curtains that my grandma gave me last year. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them. Maybe I will dye them. I like the birds, but I don't really like the pink flowers. There is a big closet over there. It's not very nice. It's not made of very good wood. This is all veneered on something cheaper. And when it's closed, it's kind of like a huge brown square that's taking half of the wall, and it makes the room, which is not giant, it makes the whole a bit more cramped. So if I do some paint, I'm probably gonna cover this as well, so it blends in a little bit more. Also have to finish emptying it. This chair, also a great shape, but I just don't like the color. I like the shape of the window. I like that there are wooden floors that are very nice. And that's it. The rest has to go. And there is also this part here that I have to tell you about. You might wonder why the wallpaper is different here and why the floor just stops here and there's suddenly carpet. Well, flashback. So, this is the thing. Maybe I can... That safe was already there when we got the house. And I can see you start typing your comments, and no, it was empty. But it was so heavy. It took 6 of my friends just to get it out of the house. Vas-y Laura, mets tout ce que t'as. Filme-la.
C'est parti pour le toboggan.
Nope, the only way to get it out of the garden was to use a tractor. Fortunately, I live in the countryside. Au revoir! Just very quick, I'm editing right now and I just want to show you something. This is how the text transcript reacted to the tractor. Also, I'm editing with the cat here. Woohoo! Check this out! We have 2 different wallpapers. We also have surprise carpet underneath the wood. They build a wooden floor around the safe, which is very funny. So, first emptying the closet, and then I have to remove everything. And in case you are wondering why there is some green velvet here, I just pinned it in place because someone likes to claw on this fabric. But that's a problem for another day. Oui, c'est à toi que je parle. Ouais. box of cables of shame. So how do I remove this? Ouais. Okay. Ça c'est Céline, ça. Je te retiens. Hein. Non, je te laisse ça. Voila! I've removed all the baseboards, the trim around the door, around the window, and on this edge of the closet. I need to remove the plugs and the radiator, but I'm gonna do that after I can cut the power. And as you can see, I have the little silly corner over there. Getting rid of this. And you can see the structure of my house, which is concrete. Everything is concrete. There's no wood in this house. Also, I hope the sound is not too bad for you, because now that it's empty, it's very echoey. I think I'm gonna leave the wallpaper in the closet for now. I don't really like this wallpaper, but it's kind of a fun touch. You have a little place where there's the original one. I can always remove it later if it bothers me. In this house, I've already removed wallpaper in 4 rooms, and in 3 of them, the wallpaper was kind of easy to remove. I'm really hoping that it's gonna be the same here.
It is not, in fact, the same. There is like 2, sometimes 3 layers of wallpaper on top of each other. The first layer is not too bad to remove, but the layers underneath are really well installed, unfortunately. And I did not rent the steaming machine this time, so I have to do everything by hand.
So, it's not super easy, but it's not the worst. I think I need to get more humidity in this room. I'm gonna sweat. I just have to turn this room into a sauna? No, a hammam. So all the steam should just take the wallpaper off for me, and I don't have to do anything. What can go wrong?
But the steam and the water is kind of working at removing the underneath layers. I just have to go extremely slowly, so I'm working at several walls at the same time. But there is still a lot of scraping to do. And everything becomes sticky. The floor is sticky, the tools are sticky, I am sticky, everything!
I have 1, 2 walls done, almost. There's 2 wallpapers on top of each other. Twice the work! Good morning. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I scraped the wallpaper until 2 in the morning yesterday, and I was just completely cooked. Like, my arms are so sore. Also, it's so hot. We are in a heat wave right now. It was 39 a few hours ago. I'm just... I don't have air conditioning. Anyways, while I was sleeping in this morning, my lovely partner did some sanding all over the walls. A light sanding, just enough to remove any little scrapes of glue or whatever. Because these walls are not like raw, so I don't need to add like a primer before my painting. Maybe I would if I planned on painting the walls white, but with all the stuff I'm going to put there, it would be fine. So now I'm doing a tiny bit more scraping around the plugs, filling where I can see a few cracks and some little defects in the walls.
Don't forget to turn off the power when touching any of your electrical equipment. I'm removing everything that is left on the walls, then using some plaster compound to fix some things. This is l'enduit. I love this.
Every problem can be fixed with plaster.
Then when it's dry and sanded, you want to clean up the walls, removing all the dust to make sure that the paint adheres to the walls.
Ta-da! All clean. I realize it still looks ugly, but now I can work on the paint. I have to protect the floor. Ready to paint. So these are paint from a previous project and I bought these three. It's a dark green, medium green and light green. Hopefully I can fill the whole room with that. I don't know if I can manage a lot today because it's already late, but I can do at least some testing, probably here. The head of the bed is gonna be here, so if I mess up, nobody will see.
Wow.
1 minute in. So this is all the colors that I have. These are kind of old, but they should survive. I have 2 liters of this and I have only a small amount of this one. So let's do some testing.
Ça patouille.
Ça patouille. Et voilà, I am done, it's perfect. We leave it like this. Okay, so the green that I have left over from the living room, it has very cool and blue undertone compared to the others who are more warm and yellow. But I have a lot of it, so I'm gonna mix it up with all the colors, all the different colors, just a little bit. I think it should make the whole thing more cohesive, and also this green is very, very yellow and I don't like that. But overall, I like it. I don't want to go too much like ombre. I want like the brush strokes to be visible, almost like I'm living in a giant painting. I don't know if it's a good idea or if I'm capable of doing that. Maybe that would look super tacky, but I don't know. I'm gonna channel my inner Monet and try to do something interesting. Let's get messy. So I don't really know about the brush stroke effect, but at least in the places where I don't like it, I can make the colors blend a little bit more with some water and this big brush. I guess I'm doing gradients now. Well, it is gonna be a nice background for all my branches. Now the question is, do I go dark to light or the opposite, or I just go wherever the flow is? I think I should put darker on the bottom so it looks like bushes, but you know, a bit like they are in a fog or something. C'est tartouille.
I am painting with big random brush strokes here. And the problem is that it makes kind of a mess, so probably the better idea is to start from the top of the wall to avoid all the little drops of paint to go to the lower part of the wall that would be already painted. Ideally, I will make a perfect gradient from top to bottom. But honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of going with the flow and seeing what the colors inspired me. And sometimes you only see what it feels like when it's already on the wall. Or the closet here.
So we have a first layer, at least on the top edge. Now I'm gonna go for the darkest on the bottom. I think I'm getting a hang of the technique. I know this looks kind of stupid right now. I believe this is gonna be another trust the process video. I'm not entirely sure if I do, but I'm gonna keep going. I really love how the paint looks like. This is kind of what I want, but on the walls.
Now it's kind of doing the same things but from bottom to top, using the darkest colors at first. I'm working with 2 colors at the time, so I have the gradient from one to the next. And I use the spray bottle often to keep the paint wet so I can mix them together. It's a process. Is it better to add a darker color on the lighter one or the opposite? I don't really know. Sometimes I thought I had the perfect solution and then it didn't work on the next wall. But just splashing colors everywhere on the wall, it is so cathartic. I'm actually having the best time here. Unlike my right arm or my walls.
So I made pretty good progress here. Sorry, my microphone is dead. It's 2 a.m. Most of the bottom of the room is painted. I need to finish the transition from the cream to the green. I'm pretty happy with where it is going, but I think I need at least some daylight to see the colors better. And also I probably need some sleep, so good night. It's a new day. So now that I see it at the light of day, I realize that this green is still a bit too yellow, so I'm gonna try to fix that. And also the room might be a bit too dark because I'm gonna paint trees that are on top of that are dark. So maybe my background should be a bit lighter. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna fix that, but yesterday I got a good feeling on how to paint faster and make the blending appear better. Well, better for me. The plan is to go from light to dark, so I'm gonna finish this, I don't know if you can still see, but there was this brownish corner all around it, so I had to make at least 2 layers on the top with the light color. I'm gonna work on half of the room at the time, starting from the window to the door. So I'll go with the white, off-white, light green, and go darker, but just one color at the time and not like the whole palette like I did yesterday. Merde! I've glued the door shut. I am so smart. It's fine.
So as a way to make the room a little bit brighter, I'm kind of pulling down the lighter colors just a little bit lower on the wall, adding more beige to the light green.
You want some?
More light green to the darker green, and blending all of it together so my splashes are not too visible. Or at least look a bit more intentional. Again, the spray bottle is super useful here. It's still a bit tricky because some colors, they look darker when they are wet, so I have to take that into account.
Voila! This took longer than expected, as always. But I'm really happy with the colors in the blend. The corners are not great, but it's really difficult to make like big movements in these areas. But again, it's a background. And also my arm is so sore. Merde! Okay, I'm cleaning up the mess a little bit. I'm cleaning myself up a little bit. Eat something and then treats. So I have all my different greens here, including some that I mixed up to make all the gradients. Paintbrushes, spray bottle and a palette. It's just a piece of wood that was cut into this shape and it's covered in years of paint. Let's add another one today. I'm gonna start with the lightest colors first.
Testing the shapes first. Removing the ugly tests from the wall. And deciding that I'm just gonna go with the flow and we'll see where it goes. According to my references, which are pictures of forests, the trees that are the most further away are the lightest. So I'm starting the first shape in this gray-green cream color. Green cream. I want this to look like a mural, but also kind of wallpaper. So how regular am I making this kind of pattern? The vision just takes shape as I'm painting. And since it's a forest, it's an organic design. So if it's not perfect, it's okay. I can add more branches, more trees, more whatever is growing on the front of what I don't like. Spoiler, I don't really like those white trees, but that's okay. I'm still adding details and we'll see where it goes. The branches get smaller and smaller, and then we have a first leaf. I tried to use a leaf stencil at the beginning of the video, but the result was really stencil-like. Like, it didn't really look like a painted leaf. So I really prefer the result of doing them by hand, one by one. I'm just checking what it would look like with some little bit darker color on top of the white. I think I like it, but let's go to bed. You don't see much of a difference on the camera, but it is daylight and I realized that those white trees are way too big. So I'm making most of the lower trunks disappear into the darker colors. The big brush is back to blend them into the fog. Then more of the tiny green leaves. Now that I'm getting the hang of the shape and how to make the leaves go quickly with my little paintbrush. It is a wide, flat paintbrush, by the way. I'm making less trees and more just branches or vines. This is not a scientifically correct reproduction of plants. This is an artistic recreation. And kind of what I did with the background, I'm using the lighter greens on the top and going over them with a darker and darker greens. This is such a meditative exercise. I think this is my favorite part of the process. I spent 7 hours straight on these leaves and I didn't even check at the time. I can totally see myself doing that all over my house, even like in tiny corners that nobody sees. And again, with an organic shape, it doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. A lot of my leaves don't even touch the actual branch. I'm just giving the vibe of the tree, the vibe of the plant. It makes them more a little bit mysterious, like they are also in the fog. And while the bottom of the white trees disappear a bit more in the colors, I'm just covering this part with a darker plant. Since the branches and leaves don't have strict direction, I can use that to hide any defect or stuff that maybe an ugly paintbrush stroke. You can fix your mistakes by just slapping a plant on it. Then I add more and more leaves where there is a little empty place and I join it to the nearest big branch. Also, definitely painting at eye level is the most pleasant and the most comfortable. I realized that I made the foliage the most dense just at waist height. The darkest leaves are actually bigger than one brush stroke, so I'm making them so they look closer to the viewer. And the trunk of these hopefully will blend into the bottom of the wall, which will be covered with grass or bushes, something plant-like. Can you tell that I am not a gardener? So the bottom of the wall is almost like a trim. I'm making it into 2 layers. Usually the bottom of a wall is not super visible. There's probably going to be a lot of furniture in front of it, but I still want my forest to look like it's going into the darkness. Well, not as dark as the baseboard, which are a dark wood, just like the door. Maybe one day I will paint the ceiling, but so far I'm just keeping it white for now. Fixing my mistakes with a tiny brush. partner just fixed the corner of the wooden floor here. We wait for the caulking to dry, that we can remove the excess. So pretty! Let's add the furniture. Sorry, I am running out of time a little bit because we have people coming over and need to sleep in this room, so I'm just gonna quick fix this. You know what? I'm just going to add a little bit of fake leaves just to hide it. And yes, don't worry about the heat. I only use LED light bulbs, so they don't really produce much heat. I think this is the perfect room where I can put my rug. I made it. You know how much time it took me? It took me like 3 months because I used only a little hook, but it's kind of a log. Évidemment, il y a déjà des poils de chat. And even more perfect, my leaf cushions and blanket rug thing. I love it so much. This was a lot of hard work, especially painting a whole room by myself. I didn't have that much time, and we are in a heat wave. By the way, I was planning to wear something else. My flower jacket is just so fitting in this room, but it's still 40 degrees outside, so you will get one turn, and I'm done. There are some things that are not completely finished, especially like paint. I have a few details to fix. Also, I'm probably gonna do something else with the lamps at some point. Should I add frames to the wall? Because they might hide the paint a little bit, but maybe that feels a little bit empty. I don't know. The room was instantly approved, so that's good. And it didn't even take like 3 bottles of paint, not even half of it. I didn't have to do like 2 layers. Just a lot of elbow grease and a paintbrush. Ooh, thumbnail, hold on. Like this. The next big thing that I want to change is the color of the bed and the chair. Again, I like this fabric, but it's just the colors. I mean, beige has to go. Maybe I can use fabric paint. I was thinking maybe a dark green, but that might be too much green here. Or maybe like Bordeaux, or a deep pink or red. Maybe blue, yellow. Should I match the bed and the chair? Actually, maybe the jacket should stay here as decoration. Not sure exactly. Let me know what you would do. I have family arriving soon and I'm really excited to get them in this room. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you a few ideas. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. N'est-ce pas?